Wisdom, with the divisions of the Abhishamayalankara. Translated by EdwardConze. University of California Press, Berkeley, Los Angeles, London. Translation of the Sutra. Chapter 51. The exposition of skill in means. The mark of irreversibility of one who stands on the path of development. The depth of the path of development. IV 8.3a. Deep is the path of development. Subhuti. Endowed with great qualities, O Lord, is the irreversible bodhisattva, great being. Endowed with immeasurable, incalculable, unmeasured qualities is the bodhisattva, the great being. Endowed with measureless qualities is the irreversible bodhisattva, great being. The Lord. So it is, subhuti, so it is. Endowed with two. Great being. And why? Because he has acquired an endless and boundless cognition, which is not shared by all the disciples and pratyekabuddhas. And, having stood in this cognition, the irreversible bodhisattva, great being, consummates the analytical knowledges, and in consequence he cannot, when questioned by the world with its gods, men, and asuras, be overcome by counterarguments. Subhuti. The Tathagata, O Lord, could for eons countless like the sands of the Ganges go on explaining the attributes, tokens, and signs through which an irreversible bodhisattva, great being, is exalted. It would be well, O Lord, if now those very deep stations were explained, established, in which the bodhisattva, the great being, coursing in the six perfections, fulfills the four applications of mindfulness to the knowledge of all modes. The depth of the path of development. The Lord. Well said, Subhuti, well said. It is good that you, for the sake of the irreversible bodhisattvas, great beings, should question the Tathagata about the very deep stations. Deep, Subhuti, of emptiness, that is a synonym of the signless, the wishless, the unaffected, the unproduced, of no birth, non-existence, dispassion, cessation, nirvana, and departing. So a Subhuti. Is it a synonym of only of nirvana or of all dharmas? The Lord. It is a synonym of all dharmas. And why? For form 2. Enlightenment is deep. How is form 2? Enlightenment deep. As deep as the suchness of form to enlightenment, so deep is form to enlightenment. The path of development is free from the extremes of attribution and negation. Subhuti. What is the suchness of form? The Lord. The suchness in which there is no form, and which yet is no other than form. Subhuti. It is wonderful, O Lord, how by a subtle device the irreversible bodhisattva has impeded form, and indicated nirvana at the same time. All dharmas which one might seize upon have been impeded, whether they be worldly or supramundane, common or uncommon, with or without outflows, and nirvana has been indicated. The distinctive features of the path of development. IV 8.3, be the road to development. The Lord. If again, Subhuti, the bodhisattva, the great being, will reflect on these very deep stations associated with the perfection of wisdom, will weigh them up, will meditate on them. The road to development with the aids to penetration. Thus must I stand as it is commanded in the perfection of wisdom. Thus must I train myself as it has been explained in the perfection of wisdom. Thus must I progress as it is pointed out in the perfection of wisdom. This bodhisattva, this great being who thus perfects himself, thus meditates, thus investigates, thus makes an effort, thus strives, thus struggles. The threefold advantage. Through that production of thought he will gain incalculable, immeasurable, and innumerable wholesome roots. For in immeasurable eon he will spurn samsara. How much more so if, coursing in the perfection of wisdom exclusively, he dwells in attentions associated with enlightenment. Suppose a man, moved by considerations of greed, had made a date with a handsome, attractive and good-looking woman. But, held back by someone else, she could not leave her house. What do you think, Subhuti, with what would that man's thought be connected? Subhuti. With the woman, of course. He thinks of her going out, coming to him, and how he will fall down on her and have sexual intercourse with her. The Lord. How many such ideas will he have during the course of a day and night? Subhuti. Many indeed, O Lord. The Lord. As many ideas as that man has in the course of a day and night. For so many eons a bodhisattva spurns samsara, turns his back on it. If he trains in this deep perfection of wisdom as it has been expounded, investigates it and meditates on it, and if he endeavors to get rid of those faults which turn him from the supreme enlightenment, if, engaged in these endeavors, the bodhisattva for only one day dwells, as it has been explained in the perfection of wisdom, in that dwelling, then the wholesome root which he thereby acquires is indefinitely greater than the wholesome root which results from filling countless world systems with gifts. The distinction of all 18 kinds of the path of development. The distinction hostile state is very strong. F. Subhuti. A bodhisattva, great being, lacking in perfect wisdom, gives gifts for eons countless like the sands of the Ganges to the triple jewel. Would he, on account of that, beget a great deal of merit? Subhuti. He would, O Lord. The path antidote is very weak. The Lord. Greater is the merit which a son or daughter of good family beget by making endeavors about this deep perfection of wisdom as it has been explained. And why? For this is the method by which the supreme enlightenment is fully known. The distinction is medium strong. What do you think, Subhuti, if, lacking in perfect wisdom, a bodhisattva would for eons countless like the sands of the Ganges bestow donations upon stream winners too? Upon the Tathagata, would that bodhisattva on account of that beget much merit? Subhuti. He would, O Lord. The path is moderately weak. The Lord. Greater is the merit which a son or daughter of good family would beget by making endeavors about this deep perfection of wisdom as it has been explained. And why? Because when he courses in this perfection of wisdom, a bodhisattva, having transcended the level of the disciples and pratyekabuddhas, enters on a bodhisattva's way of salvation, until he fully knows the supreme enlightenment. The discrimination is weakly strong. What do you think, Subhuti? If, lacking in perfect wisdom, a bodhisattva would for eons countless like the sands of the Ganges give gifts, guard his morality, perfect his patience, exert vigor, enter into the trances and develop wisdom, would he on account of that beget much merit? Subhuti. He would, O Lord. The path is fairly weak. The Lord. A son or daughter of good family would beget greater merit if, having stood in this deep perfection of wisdom as it has been explained, they would for only one day give gifts, guard morality, perfect patience, exert vigor, enter the trances, and develop wisdom. And why? Because the perfection of wisdom is the mother and genitrix of the bodhisattvas, the great beings. Having stood in this perfection of wisdom, the bodhisattvas fulfill all dharmas until they know fully the supreme enlightenment. The discrimination is strongly medium. What do you think, Subhuti, if, lacking in perfect wisdom, a bodhisattva for eons countless like the sands of the Ganges were to give the gift of dharma, would he on account of that beget much merit? Subhuti. He would, O Lord. The path is weakly medium. The Lord. Greater would be the merit which a son or daughter of good family would beget if, having stood in this deep perfection of wisdom as it has been explained, they would give the gift of dharma for one single day only. And why? Because the bodhisattva who lacks perfect wisdom also lacks the knowledge of all modes. The bodhisattva who does not lack perfect wisdom also does not lack the knowledge of all modes. Therefore, then, should a bodhisattva who once